this last month, I have felt very lost. I felt lost in my business. I have felt lost in my sales. I have felt lost. I feel lost on everything except for my personal life, which has just blossomed and flourished. And it's been an incredible month of going on trips and being with family, and it's been incredible. But I felt a little lost in my business, which has never happened. I started in January. I've had great success. I love my business. It is my baby. It is literally the reason I wake up in the morning. I love it. And I have never, ever felt so lost in my business as I did this month. And it scared the fucking shit out of me. It scared the shit out of me because when you feel lost, where do you even begin? Where do you even go forward? Where do you even? Like, you can't even. You feel lost. You feel a miserable mess. I came home yesterday from my beautiful trip and I was a hot fucking disaster. Hot disaster. It was like, I don't know what happened. Anxiety overcame me. I was very, very anxious. I was very like, I need to do all of the things and I need to do them now. And I was freaking the fuck out. And so this morning I decided to kind of do a little arts and crafts project. And I kind of was starting to think last night of how do I find myself again? How do I reconnect with the person who wants her business to grow, how do I reconnect with myself? And one of the things I've kind of started to realize is that as my business evolves, I have to evolve with it. And 100K Amanda cannot be the same person as 200K Amanda, cannot be the same person as 300K Amanda, cannot be the same person as a millionaire Amanda. With each evolvement of my business and evolution of my business, I need to evolve with it. I cannot have a 100K mindset trying to hit 200K. It's not possible. With each level, I need to up level. I need to find this higher version of myself. And my coach always talked to me about that. And I was like, bitch, what does that even fucking mean? I love my coach. And she was like, what does the higher version of yourself look like? And I'm like, I'm right here. Hi. And she's like, no, what's the next level version of you look like? And I just sat there so puzzled because I had no idea. I was so focused on hitting this certain amount of income, the 6-figure mark, that I didn't even fathom who I was to become to be able to move past this mark, to be able to move past into multiple 6 figures. And I freaked out. And I freaked the fuck out. And this was months ago she asked me. And so I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Does that even make sense? Who the fuck is that? What does it even mean to step into this higher version of yourself? And I've started to slowly realize over this last month, it's a mindset shift. Becoming the higher version of yourself is kind of starting to live your life as she would live your life. So if you have not made 6 figures and the higher version of yourself makes 6 figures, how does that woman react to the situations that you are currently going through? So for example, the 6-figure version of yourself, if she lost a client, would she throw a fit? Would she almost throw in the towel? Would she say, fuck everyone and fuck this noise, I'm fucking done? No, she wouldn't. Why? Because she had multiple clients. Because she knows the money is there. The money is still coming. She would look at that client and she would say, I love you. I'm sorry things aren't working out. I'm sorry that I'm not your person, but go be your own person. Go, little butterfly. Fly away. She wouldn't throw a hissy fit. She wouldn't get upset. She wouldn't get down on herself, and she wouldn't kick the shit out of herself, right? And so it's a mindset shift that you need to make in order to strive in your business, in order to strive into your life. And so the last month, I have been lost, I've been confused, I've been feeling like shit. And finally, yesterday, I sat down and I thought to myself, what is the 7-figure version of me? What is it? What does she look like? Who is she? And it's not about money when you guys do this. It's not about, oh, she's making 50K months. Oh, she's like selling millions of dollars of products and swag and courses. It's not about that. It's who is she? What is her personality like? What is her mindset like at that level? And how do you become her even though you're not making that level? How do you become this 6-figure version of yourself when you're not making $1? And when I came out into the scene in January, in my head, I was already becoming the 6-figure version of myself. I was like, I know who she is. And so shit just happened. It clicked. I sat there every single time I lost a client and thought to myself, would the 6-figure version of me freak out like this? No. She wouldn't, so I'm not going to. Every time I hit an obstacle in the road, I failed. And I failed. Every time I came up to something that I didn't do well at, I sat there and I thought to myself, how is the six-figure version of me, how is she going to handle this? And I would say she's going to get back up. She's going to put her big girl panties on, wipe off her bloody knees and the scrapes and the bruises, and she's going to keep going forward because she's resilient as fuck. When I hit six figures, I already became the version of me that I had been striving to become. And so I had to sit down and reconnect with myself and figure out who the fuck am I as a seven-figure earner? Who the fuck am I as a multiple six-figure earner? Because how am I ever going to make multiple six figures if I can't even connect with her, if I don't even know who she is? And so today I did a project and I want to show you. And it's janky as fuck. And I don't care if you're going to make fun of it. I'm an arts and crafts kid. So all of you know my impact board. So on the other side of my impact board today, of course, my cat's standing right there. Hopefully you can see it. I created this, and this is a board of the seven-figure version of Amanda. And I ask that you do this, I ask that you try this because I really found it helpful, I found it inspiring, I found it motivating, and I found it fucking freeing to stop and think of what I would become, who I could become, what I can achieve, and the woman I could really step into, how I can step into this power that I know that is inside of me, that I know that is inside of you. I know it is. And so I went through and I thought to myself, okay, what is the seven-figure version of Amanda? Who is she? What does she embody? And like I said, this isn't about monetary value. This isn't about she has all of the money in the world. This is about who she is as a woman. So when you do this for yourself, do not put anything with money. It's not about money. It's who you are when you step into this woman, who you are at this higher power of you. And so I started writing some stuff. So let's go over some of this. So she is humble, loving, kind, strong, and she pushes the envelope. Because when you make a lot of money, sometimes you can turn into a giant douchebag. And I do not want to be a giant douchebag. So I want to continue to be humble. How do I continue being humble? I practice gratitude. You can't see it. I practice gratitude daily. So the seven-figure version of me not only practices gratitude when she receives a sale, when she receives a gift, she sits down every fucking day and writes down what she's grateful for because she's grateful for so much it needs to be said out loud. The six-figure version of me, she creates college funds for my nieces and nephews so they don't have to get stuck in student loan debt, because I don't know about you, but I got some student loan debt. I got about 35 grand in it. And it's fucking nuts. And I don't want my nieces and nephews to ever have to pay a student loan. That shit is fucking fucked up. Just a side note right there. She lets go of control. She surrenders. I am a control freak. And the biggest, hardest thing to do this month, when my month it's one of the lowest months that I've ever had in sales, is to just let it be. It's to not focus on the sales. It's been hard as fuck. It has been hard to let go of control and just surrender to the universe's plan, because she has a plan. I don't know what it is. I don't know what she's settling me for, but I know she's teaching me something in this moment. Maybe it's to do this. Maybe it was to create this. Maybe it was to connect to this woman, but she's doing it for a reason. So I need to learn to let go of control and just surrender, because the seven-figure version of me, she lets go. She's like, she hits a point and she's like, I can't do anything, so I'm backing off and I'm going to leave it to the universe. So she does that. So I need to embody that now. Some other stuff. She is healthy mind, body, and soul, which means I take care of my motherfucking self. I make sure that I'm being physical, that I'm moving, that I'm eating well, that I'm spiritually. I am spiritually. I am well in the mind. She has a team. She has a social media manager. She has a customer service manager. She has a swag store manager. She has a chief security officer. That position is taken by Adam. And she has a personal assistant. Why? Because the seven-figure version of me cannot do all of this. I cannot have the weight of the world on my shoulder all the time. The seven-figure version of me, she delegates. She grows a brand. She grows a brand. She doesn't grow herself. Where is it? There's on here. She creates a movement. She uplifts and empowers women in her community and turns Fierce as Fuck into a movement. Fierce as Fuck is more a movement than it is about me. It's my brand. I love it, but I want it to be a brand that represents women, a brand that represents multiple women, not just me. I can't be the only face of my brand. I want to uplift women in my community. The 7-figure version of this is able to do this because she's not afraid of competition. She doesn't consider it competition. She considers it empowering and inspiring and uplifting and bringing women to light who deserve to be brought to light. So that's the 7-figure version of me. She does that. What else? She is an innovator, a leader, and she creates her own path. The 7-figure version of me is not someone who follows a path that is already built. She creates her own path. The 7-figure version of me will literally try and fail 1,000,000 times. And I will create this path. I will be the first person who does things. I will just not do things because other people are doing them. I will create my own way. And then once people start following that way, once I start helping people lead to that way, I will turn around and I will do another. But I will not copycat other people. I will be my own person. My 7-figure person, my 7-figure version of Amanda, she is her own person. What else here? She speaks in front of audiences of hundreds of people. I love public speaking. Probably didn't know that, but I do love public speaking. She takes her family on trips every year. I want to take my nieces and nephews to Disney. I want to take my mom down to the Clifton Inn for her birthday. I want to buy a house for my mom. I want to buy a house for my brother. I want to do all of those things. What else? She takes losing clients with grace rather than hurt and anger because it's not about her. It's about whatever your client needs at that current moment. And sometimes when I do lose a client, it stings a little. So the 7-figure version of me, she's okay with it. She gets uncomfortable but doesn't fear comfort. She gets uncomfortable but she doesn't fear comfort. What I mean by this is I'm so used to being uncomfortable that the second I'm in my comfort zone, I freak the fuck out. I'm like, oh, I gotta shake shit up. Something's wrong. I can't do this. And so I start freaking the fuck out. I start spiraling. So the 7-figure version of me, she gets uncomfortable, but she likes being in the comfort. She doesn't fear it. She doesn't downward spiral. She sits in it. And then she asks herself, how can she get uncomfortable again? I had so much fun doing this. She never stops growing. She lives on a beach and spends her mornings drinking coffee and listening to the ocean. Do you know how many mornings I jump on my phone? It's the first thing I do. I get out of bed, I jump on my phone, I go pee, and I answer messages. If you get a message from me at like 6 in the morning, I'm probably peeing. So the 7-figure version of me doesn't do that anymore. The 7-figure version of me takes morning slowly. She enjoys the morning. She savors the morning. She drinks her coffee and enjoys it, not just chugs it down so that she can get the caffeine hit to answer the next person. She forgives, she lets go, she forgets. I hold on to a lot of shit. I come off, I guess, Adam always says, I come off tough. I come off tough like I have a hard outer shell, but I'm a soft, gooey interior, or in whatever his fucking weird candy analogy is with me. But I tend to hold on to things. I tend to like really not let things go when I say I let them go, but then all of a sudden, like a month later, I'm like, fuck everyone. Like, no. The 7-figure version of me, she lets go, she forgives, and she forgets. Not she forgives and then doesn't forget. She forgets. She lets it go, and when she says she lets it go, it's gone. It no longer serves her. She no longer carries it with her. It's no longer a burden. It is gone. She hosts in-person retreats, seminars, and masterminds. I want to do this so bad. I want to have an in-person meetup. I want to be able to bring ladies onto a retreat. I want to do all of those things, and the 7-figure version of me, she does those. She is able to do nothing. She is able to just be. Do you know how often I cannot not do anything? We were in the Clifton over the weekend, and Adam, I was like, oh, I wish we brought a deck of cards or something. And Adam says, can you ever just not do anything? Like, do you always feel like you need to be doing anything? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. Like, I need to be doing something at all time. So the 7-figure version of me is able to just be, does not have to do cards. She can just sit and be with herself. The 7-figure version of me can take a day away from my cell phone without having a heart attack. She can take a day where she leaves her cell phone and not like, did someone text me? What if someone messaged me? What if shit is hitting the fan? That's really important to me because right now I'm attached to my phone. I love my phone. I do. But I want the 7-figure version of me to be able to walk away and actually enjoy shit and put it down. Oh, there's one. What was one of my favorites? Did I do that one? She responds to every comment on IGTV podcasting, YouTube, and live videos, even if they're negative. The 7-figure version of Amanda King would not back down if someone's gonna hate on a YouTube video. She would respond anyway. She wouldn't cower, she wouldn't fear, she wouldn't take it personally, she wouldn't be hurt. She would respond and move on. So I'm gonna respond and move on. She takes 1 week each quarter and she goes and she takes a week away by herself, not with Adam, not with her mom, not with anybody, maybe with my dog. Howie and I, we travel together. She takes a week of by herself time every quarter to self-reflect and to create a business plan for the next quarter. 5 days of being in isolation in a hotel, in a building, somewhere where she can really do the fucking inner work that needs to be done to let go at the end of each quarter and to create the next quarter even bigger, better, more beautiful than the quarter before. So I ask you guys, if you're really struggling on trying to figure out who the higher version of you is, what she embodies, what she becomes, sit down and do a janky project like this. It can be done on the computer. It can be done arts and craftsy, but do something like this. And every single time you get frustrated, every single time you get angry, every single time that you feel like throwing in the towel, I want you to look at this board and say, what would the 6-figure version of Sarah do? Would she get this upset? Probably not. She would sit there and she would say to herself, all right, this is just a lesson. Every time a course fails, she'd be like, it's just a lesson. I want you to keep this board somewhere where you can see it. Not in a journal. Don't put it in a journal. Notebooks are where ideas go to die. Notebooks, you will not look at the notebook every single day. So I ask you to put it somewhere where you can look at it every single day. Put it on a poster board. Put it on your fucking wall with Post-its. Do something that every single time you get pissed off, every time you get upset, every time you're crying, you can go and you can look at that board on your wall, on a pin board, on a dry erase board, on an easel, on a poster board, and sit here and say, how would the higher version of me react to this situation? Who would she be? Who is she? Because I am already her, and that's the mindset shift that makes everything possible. You will evolve, and every single time you evolve an income level, I ask that you do this as well. I ask that you connect with the person who's higher above you, the higher version of yourself, because this mindset shift is where shit just changes. And I came in with the 6-figure mindset, 6-figure earner mindset, and it's been incredible and my business has blossomed. But now I have to figure out how I move forward from here. Well, how do I move forward without putting monetary value? I have to step into this power and become this woman that I've always wanted to be, just as you have to. You have to step into the woman that you know already exists. She's in there. You just have to bring her out. You have to ask her questions. You have to reflect and say to yourself, 6-figure version of myself, how would I handle this situation? How would I handle someone missing a payment? How would I handle someone missing 8 payments? How would I handle someone being nasty to me in an email? How would I handle someone shit-talking my IGTV video? How would I handle these situations? How would I handle a copycat? Because let me tell you, the more successful you become, the more people will copy you. How do you handle being looking and seeing a masterclass that you just taught being taught by another person? How do you do that? How do you step into this higher version of yourself and just say, okay, this is how she would handle it. She already exists within you. And it's not like you create this board and you stick it in a corner and you never look at it. This board is so that you can become her before the money ever hits. Because when you become her, when you start emulating her, even if you're not making a single fucking dollar, you become her and the money follows. I truly, truly believe this. This is something I did at the very beginning. I came in with 6-figure earner status and I teach it in Badass Bitch Academy, and that's why I'm so fucking passionate about it. So in order for me to make $500,000, I got to step into the $1 million version of me. So if you're frustrated, if you feel lost, if you feel like you have no sense of control, sit down and do this. I hope this helped. I hope this enlightened. I hope this inspired in some way that you guys can learn from my failures, my miscomings, my just being a fucking hot mess for a month. There's something beautiful that can come out of things that seem chaotic and seem overwhelming, but beauty's just on the other side if you push through. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what you saw, go right ahead and click the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to head over to iTunes and check out my podcast, Fierce as Fuck. Thank you so much, and go grab today by the balls and make it your bitch.